What is the ministry of a prophet? Gospel for you. No copyright. Many call themselves prophets today, but unfortunately not all of them are. They want to be called something. Be some kind of Esther without the ministry. But what is the ministry of a prophet? A prophet is someone God can use to call servants and tell about the future and serve with the apostle in his service, etc. Acts 13:2. While they were serving and fasting, the Holy Spirit said, "Take me out Barnabas and Saulus for the work to which I have called them." This prophet who spoke here could be Agabus. He also predicted the worldwide famine. Acts 11:28, and one of them, named Agabus, stand up and declared by the Spirit. The Spirit said that there would come a great famine over the whole world. It also came during the reign of Claudius, years 44 to 48. And he predicted Paul's imprisonment at point 21:10-11. While we stayed there for several days, a prophet named Agabus came down from Judea. He came to us and took Paul's belt and bound his own feet and hands with it, saying, "The man, the owners of this belt, the Jews shall bind thus in Jerusalem, and deliver into the hands of the gentlemen." In the Old Testament, the prophet is called a seer. You could go to and ask God about a problem. 1 Sam.99, they sired ago in Israel, when they went to consult God, "Come, let us go to the seer." For what today is called a prophet, they in ancient times called a seer. In the New Testament, the prophet often traveled with an apostle. App. 1:5-2:5, and 2:7, we are, therefore, sending Judas and Silas. WHO should also communicate the same to you orally. And 32 here there was just an apostle meeting in Jerusalem, where they discussed Paul's ministry among the Gentiles, where prophets were also present. Then, after having agreed, "We have decided to choose some men and send them to you with Barnabas and Paul, therefore we send Judas and Silas." WHO should also communicate the same to you orally. And Judas and Silas, prophets himself, encouraged the brethren with many words and strengthened them. It was possibly those who had prophesied among the apostles. What was God's will in this situation? They now had to account for their prophecy by traveling themselves with and explain the common destiny of the apostles. At point 166-7, and they went through the Phrygian and Galatic country, as they had been prevented by the Holy Spirit from speaking the word in the province of Asia. When they came near Mysia, they tried to go to Bithynia, but Jesus' Spirit did not allow them. The Spirit did not allow them. Here we look into the prophetic ministry in an administrative manner unfold in accordance with the apostolic ministry. The Spirit of God did not allow him to do that. It was the prophet who spoke by the Spirit. Then there was a dispute between Paul and Barnabas and they parted. At point 15-40. But Paul chose Silas for himself and went out after the brothers had given him the Lord's grace by violence. The apostle Paul chose the prophet Silas and they traveled together in the service. Later we see the apostle Timothy and the prophet Silas traveling together. At point 185. Now when Silas and Timothy came down from Macedonia, Paul was completely busy in preaching the word, testifying to the Jews that Jesus is the Christ. We have seen in the review here that the prophetic ministry does not be compared to the prophetic gift of grace. The gift of grace is for edification in the congregation and has its own limitation in its unfolding. 1 Cor.143. But EWHO speaks prophetically